Ah,
Welcome to the podcast where a group of like-minded nerds play a randomly generated RPG. The Natural One Podcast, where the plot is made up and the hit dice don't matter.
I think where we need to start is the random starting location, which is kind of like the general area we're going to begin in. So, for the first roll, let's go with a 3. So that's to Spencer. Spencer, can I get you to roll a 10-sided die, please?
10.
Ah, look at that. You're going to begin in a city.
starting strong.
All right. So it's a city. Great. That's very exciting.
Yay!
That's
I'm
good.
so happy.
That works out really well.
Yeah, that does work out well.
Like, and by city you mean like a lot, like not a village. This is like a large.
We are going to determine the size of that city right now. Zach,
Oh, okay.
can you give me a 6-sided die roll, please?
Hell yeah. 2.
It is a hamlet.
Okay. Cool.
So I'm thinking 150 people, not all that big. But a city obviously needs to be inside of a country. So can I get Mitchell to roll a 4-sided die? To talk to basically what is the governing aspect, the higher level is
Communism. No, I'm kidding.
we're not in the okay. So it's part of a nation that is a part of about 4 to 10 other cities. So it's a fairly sizable nation, which means we have like a lot of fucking world building to do. However, let's talk the nation, and then we can talk about the hamlet really quickly. So, and this is working out fairly well, actually. Simon, can I get you to roll a D100?
Oh, Jesus. Give me 2 seconds here.
If you Google random number generator,
Oh, I'm just going
That's
to do
more
a
fun.
percentile and a
That's right.
D10.
Yeah.
Looks like 19.
Nice.
19 in total.
Yes, in toto.
Congratulations. We are forming a confederacy.
boo. Those always go so well.
Boo. What are the Commonwealth under Crown?
A confederacy is actually pretty interesting because it's an amalgamation of states,
Yeah.
right? So it's actually a decentralized government forming decentralized government where states control, each individual state controls the vast majority of its own power. And then for really big things, they get together and decide stuff. It's very
That's
interesting.
actually pretty cool.
Yeah, so it's a nation in confederacy, which means now we need to determine kind of how the hamlet is run, which means, Mitchell, I need you to roll a D100.
Holy crap. Okay. Helps when you have to like this. There we go. Okay. Wow, that is a big fat 73.
Ooh,
my.
nice and thick.
Yeah.
Girthy.
Our hamlet has a king, because it's a part of a monarchy.
Oh my god, I love this. There's just like this hamlet in the Confederation that's just like, we're a kingdom.
So,
And he's a king of like 150 people. Smallest king ever.
hey,
Just because he's king of his family does not mean he's not a king.
I really want all of our storylines to be about the king of the hamlet.
How they've tried to like separate themselves from the Confederacy and like become this like kingdom.
Ooh, now there's a whole bunch of world building opportunities about how the monarch rose to power. I feel like he's a previous adventurer or something.
Yeah, maybe he's like some sort of like he's a little bit magically inclined, so he has a lot of pull where he can kind of get away with a little bit.
Ooh,
Kind of.
let's not get too far. All right, and then the last thing, let's determine what our framing event is. Hey, that's me. I get to do this one.
Hey.
I'm playing this game too. Of course it is. That's fucking perfect. Okay. So you all arrive in the hamlet, and we need a name for the hamlet.
City name generator.
Spencer,
Yep.
can you name the hamlet, please?
Can the hamlet be named York?
York?
Yeah.
All right. So,
How's that spelled? Yorck?
Yeah, exactly like the dead guy from Hamlet.
Uh-oh.
Phenomenal.
Why?
Give me one sec, guys. I need to get some notes. This is probably a thing I should be writing down.
I'm writing down as much as I can here. So YORCK?
Yeah, YORICK. Yorick.
Yorick.
Oh, Yorick.
Oh, alas, poor
Okay,
Yorick. I knew him well. All right.
It's a Hamlet we will know well for sure.
Oh, Yorick, what must happen to you today?
A hamlet, also known as the formal kingdom of York.
So, can you hear the background music fairly well?
It's there.
Yeah.
We don't need to make it super loud. I think it's being picked up on the podcast anyway. So, for whatever reason, all four of you have arrived in Yorick, and you all have your own reasons for visiting the small hamlet inside the Confederacy, because that is all too fitting. Spencer,
Yes.
can I get you to roll a 10-sided die, re-rolling 10?
9.
Okay, that'll work really well. So Yorick resides on the shore of an ocean. And you all have arrived through various means, kind of at perhaps your own personal expense, in order to arrive on Yorick on the only day a year where the king of Yorick receives audience from anyone in the town.
Ooh. Oh. Okay.
Nice.
I would like you all to come up with one thing that you're gonna ask from the king. So while you're thinking about that, I would like to begin with Mitchell.
Yeah.
You find yourself outside of a random building. Let's generate that building.
Okay.
Where did that table go? I'll edit all this stuff out. Yes, there. I couldn't fucking. Alright.
Okay.
I need you to roll a d20 there, Mitchell.
All right. Oh, cocked. That's hilarious. 13. Lucky number 13.
Lucky.
Now I need you to roll a d20 twice.
And add it up, or two different ones?
Two separate rolls.
2 19s.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wasting all the good rolls now.
Yeah.
So, how did your character, before we reveal who you are, arrive in Yorick?
By boat.
So you took passage with a passing vessel, and obviously your first stop after arriving in Yorick will be to visit the local tavern, the Black Spider.
Ooh. That is an unfortunate name for a tavern. Okay, I'm fine with that. So should I just what should we do? Should I angrily enter the tavern?
I mean, if you want.
Okay, well, I've kind of decided I have a reason to be here, so I'm gonna kind of move my way into the tavern, but not hiding, not just kind of brashly just entering, kind of opening the door and kind of scanning the room, kind of thing.
So, as you enter the tavern of the Black Spider, there's about there's like 3 people in there with the bartender included. 2 humans and the bartender. So we need to generate the bartender, don't we? How very exciting. Yeah. I don't know. Just give me a D10 there, Mitchell.
That's 5.
5. All right. So there's a high elf, and the high elf is looking you up and down pretty much as you're looking her up and down. Can you describe your character to us, please?
Okay. Well, I am a tiefling. I am large, pretty muscular, heavy built, from like years of like sailing. I have lots of scars and very very thick forearms. I'm wearing chainmail. I'm carrying a shield and a warhammer. My skin is kind of like a grayish purple. My hair is long and tied back but white. I have long curved horns that are also black, and so are my eyes. I have kind of a dissatisfied look on my face in general. And yeah, that's my character.
Sweet.
Do you want me to like a name or like?
No, not yet. We'll get there.
Okay.
Can you also roll a d20, please? You're going to randomly generate the race relations inside the settlement.
No pressure. Everybody's friends. Oh, that's not good. That's a 2.
Uh-oh.
Everybody's friends.
Okay, good. Okay, cool.
So the two humans kind of get up and they go, "Thanks for the beer," and then just kind of like wander out. You give me a perception check.
Yeah, sure. Oh, I'm trained in perception. That is a 18.
Yeah, these are two sailors. I mean, you pick up the like some knuckle tattoos, and they're clearly just kind of having like their last beer before they head back out again. An experience that you have probably shared once or twice.
Fair enough.
Now it's just you and the mystical high elf inside the Black Spider Tavern. As you get settled into the tavern, let's jump over to Simon.
Yes.
By what means of transportation did you arrive at York?
Honestly, probably by my own 2 feet.
Yeah, you strolled into town.
Yeah.
What?
Pack some across my back.
Yeah.
Strolling on in.
Can I get you to roll a d10? Sorry, a d20 as well.
Sure. 5. Ooh, that's not good.
All right. Give me
Not
another
a good
d20.
start. Say again?
Give me another d20.
Alrighty. Really? 4.
So, one of the first buildings that kind of stand out since you've arrived through the rolling plains, is a fairly nice, like a 2-story home. That there's a nice elder gentleman out front. Can you roll a d10 to determine the race?
Absolutely. Another 4.
Okay.
Jeez.
There's a half orc that's kind of sitting there, and he's an older gentleman by far and away, and he's just kind of taking in the afternoon breeze. Like, this is a fairly idyllic place, but he seems to be minding his own business, smoking a pipe. He's got a fairly long, kind of a Marshall mustache, like a big bushy mustache that kind of comes down onto handlebars, and he sits with a certain rock steadiness that comes with a long life of harming other people. You can continue past him, head into town. I mean, he's random, so you don't actually have to engage with him.
Given the fact that I've probably been walking for quite a while since the last town, I'll politely smile and nod, and continue on my way towards the hamlet proper.
Okay, can you just give me like a general charisma check?
Absolutely. A very minor 23.
Yeah, just a.
I wonder what class he is.
I spoke untrue. That's a 22.
All right.
Oh.
So the half orc gets up and kills you. No, you
Well,
smile
a
and
new character.
you smile and nod, and he kind of like half grunts, nods, but just goes back to smoking his pipe and thinking about bygone days of crushing his opponents and see them driven before him.
I appreciate the fact that he can see that on his face. Like that's a really descriptive face.
Yeah, man. That's I may be making shit up, but I'm making shit up like good.
Goodly making up.
Did we just discover the third stage of Conan, the half-orc farmer?
All right. We will now jump to Spencer.
Okay.
So, Spencer, how did you arrive in town?
I probably also would have walked.
Okay. So, a little bit ahead of you, you see Simon. Simon, can you describe yourself?
Sure, absolutely. So ahead of you, you see this half-elf who's strolling along at a fairly jaunty pace. He's wearing a kilt, some high leather boots. He's got a backpack strung over his back, and you see strapped to it is a set of bagpipes.
Yes.
Lit.
And also hanging off the other side is a small hand drum as well.
And, of course, since you two have been on the road for probably a day or so, Spencer, can you describe yourself? So that way Simon can know about the fellow that he didn't interact with the entire trip.
I mean, at this point, like I'd probably be a little grungy, but you'd see a relatively pale human, brown hair, young, maybe 19, 23, somewhere in there, and he's got a bit of a scraggly beard, just from lack of shaving, not intent by any stretch of the word, just a lack of shaving more than anything else. And he's kind of carrying a variety of weapons, and so like he has a large crossbow strapped on his back, strapped to his backpack, along with a couple hand axes, and the biggest thing though is the fact that he's using a massive long glaive just as a walking stick.
Cool. And since you guys have also just rolled into town on a hope and a whim, I'm going to assume that you're going to go straight to the only tavern in town, the Black Spider.
It's
What,
really
there's
happening
only one?
in there, trust me.
I mean, a drink sounds great.
Yeah. Spencer,
Yes.
can you give me a D20, please?
9.
Okay. So, in your travels, you have heard of a small ocean village, or hamlet. You've heard it described as many different sizes, that is known amongst your circles as an area that has some interesting connections to fairly dark magic.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what you
Okay.
get when you roll a 9.
Yeah.
I mean, that explains why I'm probably here.
Yeah. And then, finally, Zach.
Okay, I'm probably just wandering in from the closest woods.
Okay.
Maybe with like a deer over my shoulder or something like that.
So
Delightful.
behind my shoulder, I see.
So,
Guys are just in a line, but you've never talked to each other.
I'm actually going to say that Zach is coming in from specifically not the road. So, Zach, can you give me a D20 to determine what building you encounter first?
Yes.
What is he going to come in through like someone's backyard
Wow.
carrying a dead deer?
Hey, dinner, man.
And then can you roll me a D20 again?
Yes. 11.
Ooh, cool. So, your first stop is to... where did it go? Aha. A temple. And it happens to be on kind of like the northern edge of town. And it's a little run down. But there's still some light on the inside of it. And can I get you to roll a religion check, please?
Okay. 8.
Oh, I don't think he's a cleric.
What to say the same thing?
That or the shittiest cleric of all time.
The world's first atheist cleric.
You don't recognize the symbology that is adorned
No.
on the temple. You just kind of look at it and go, well, that's a pretty picture of a dragon, and that's about it.
Fair enough.
I would assume that you're also going to go to the Olney Tavern and head over to the Black
Oh, yeah.
Spider, or would you like to do something else?
No, straight to the tavern.
All right. So, a few moments later, all four of you arrive at the tavern, and you're all kind of, I would say, just kind of like waiting to check in. And the half elf kind of says, "Well, I wasn't expecting such company. Well, welcome to the Black Spider, named because of the denizens of the tavern. They're not poisonous, except for the ones with the little black and red marks on the top. So be careful of those. A stay, because we're the only place in town, is simply 5 silver pieces a night. But that does provide you with breakfast and 1 free drink token." And she like pulls out a couple of drink tokens, which are clearly just like copper pieces that have been repurposed into drink tokens. And you're all there. So for everyone else's benefit, Zach, could you please describe your character?
So you see a giant hulking half orc, about 6'7" tall, green skin, black bushy hair on top, black bushy beard, a giant great axe over his back, and some other hand axes and javelins just all over. Very large muscles, and just normal, plain, boring clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and there's a deer over his shoulder.
Yes. So, Simon, you're the only one who didn't describe your weaponry, which I assume you have some that would be visible to everyone else.
Well, now that he's taken his pack off, you can see behind that, strapped to his back, was a rapier and dagger in a sword frog, and a leather belt, which he doesn't often wear. It looks like he has it on hand in case
I
things
heard a sword frog.
Same.
Yes.
Okay.
It's if you ever see those movies where people are doing rapier fighting, it holds the sword at an angle. It looks like a 3 or 4 straps of leather coming off a belt. That's what holds it. And it's called a sword frog.
I now know what those are
I
called.
know a thing that I did not know.
I'm a historical fighting weaponry nerd, so I have a few terms that I realize not many people know.
Yeah, because I was picturing like an anime frog sword, and I was like, wicked. Right?
Exactly, no.
Can I get... Mitchell, can I get you to roll a d20?
Of course, it's my favorite thing. That is another 19.
Jesus.
What? Damn.
Sweet.
Don't worry, it doesn't matter now.
And the half-elf kind of leans in and the high elf beckons you guys in a little bit closer, and you all kind of instinctually lean a little bit closer, and she like half covers her mouth and says, "And if you're looking for a little bit of company for the night, I know a couple of ladies. Or gentlemen, I don't judge."
And I immediately like get interested. I'm like, what is the average cost of female companionship at this establishment?
Well, it depends what you're looking for. And then like she looks
Two.
around just to make sure like the 3 or 4 like town's guard aren't around, and then she flips over the menu, and like one side of the menu is all like food and beer and stuff, and then she flips it over and it's various depraved sexual acts that you can purchase at a slowly increasing scale, and there's like bulk packages, there's membership prices if you wanted a stamp card. Yeah,
a hamlet of 100 to 150 people.
it's a transient
Yes.
area.
Birthdays are super awkward.
Happy birthday, Mr. President.
I kind of like peruse over it and realize like the depth and insanity in this menu. Kind of like first being intrigued by it, but now being like, okay, this is messed. Like this, the bottom half is. Who would want to do that? That would hurt. I kind of just stay to the top half and kind of like, is there just one for just two things, either human, tiefling, or elf of some sort? Nothing too short. Just for the night, normal stuff. None of this stuff. And I kind of like show the bottom stuff. None of that.
The vanilla I'm totally new at sex package is a 1 gold piece per person per evening. So if you required 2
Perfect.
of such companionship, it would cost you 2 whole gold pieces, which is probably a small fortune. Fun fact, that is considered skilled labor.
Yeah, they deserve it because they're going to be
that
labor.
holds up.
I will gladly hand her the 2 gold without even bothering to haggle or anything like that. I've had a long sail voyage with a lot of dudes, and I am ready for something soft.
You're looking to break it in. Got it.
Yeah.
Anyone else picture this tiefling like leafing through this like it's a fucking wine menu? Yes.
Like I said, it started like that,
Vintage.
and then it got weird, and I got scared, and I went back to the front.
Could I sample your wood,
A
elf?
Shiraz? No, I gotta go back.
Delightful. So the
Okay,
tiefling
well,
has
I'm
purchased.
content. I'm just sitting around, and I'm just probably eating something and drinking.
Okay. The tiefling has purchased companionship for the night. What would the rest of you like to do?
I mean, I would probably go to the high elf, and basically, I'd put a gold piece down on the table and just say, "Look, I know you said it was about 5 silver for a room, but surely you have something nicer." And I push forward the gold piece.
You can hear me audibly laugh. Go.
And she's, for a moment, considers it and goes, I do have the VIP package. Can you roll an insight check for me?
Oh God, I don't think this is what I wanted, but okay. 8. I rolled a natural 2.
Yeah, the VIP package is really good. Like, there's a lot of... It's special sheets, there's a wake up in the morning. While it may not be a particularly nice room, the finery inside of the room is actually really cool. It seems like Yorick is, because of its location as like a tertiary port, there's a lot of like smuggling fall-offs, things that fall off the wagon that this person has naturally just kind of acquired, being the only madame in town.
Well, seeing as I'm quite naive, I'm gonna just go for it because why
Right.
not?
Super. You have acquired yourself the VIP package, which comes with complimentary masturbatorium.
That's everywhere.
I was gonna say I didn't need a room for that.
Oh shit! That's generally frowned upon if you don't, though.
I've been living outside for a long, long time.
It's a cultural thing. Welcome to Yorick.
Thank you.
They're full of comings and goings.
Whoa, phrasing.
Nope, that was perfect.
All right, Zach or Simon, would you like to peruse?
Yeah, sure. I'll just be like, I want to see the drink menu.
And she kind of sighs and then flips the menu back over. And there's a fairly interesting couple of options. You know, you have the regular ales, something called a Scotch mixer, and then the harder like dwarven spirits, all with weird names that pretty much start at about 2 gold pieces a hit, and then kind of progress up to the most expensive being about 10 gold pieces for 1 finger of. Oh, I get to make this up. A brew called the Sit and Spin.
Sit and spin. Okay. I just want whatever's cheap.
Oh yeah, for like a copper piece, she will spit in your glass and then fill it with ale.
Perfect. I'll
That's
take
good
5.
deal. Usually the spit's extra.
Yeah, it's good shit, right?
Recognizing that there's dwarven brews, I would buy whatever the cheapest dwarven brew is. So you said like a gold piece for that, or 2 gold?
Well, the dwarven brews are like a couple of silver pieces, but the like the fancy spirits, you're talking about the hard stuff that may make you go blind.
No, I'm just talking a dwarven brew. So a couple silver.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
Craft beers.
basically, yeah.
You hipster.
I am a young kid, effectively, that is learning how to do this.
Can I get a Pabst Blue Ribbon, please?
Basically, that is 100% what just happened.
You're really just excited you didn't get carded. So
I think it's the glaive. I'm just going to assume it's the glaive I'm holding.
it's probably fairly late in the day, and a lot of you are tired. What would all of you like to do?
I would like to talk to the bartender. I have a thing I specifically would like to ask her.
How late in the day is it roughly?
That's
Get around supper time?
That's a very good question. Why don't you roll a d10 to see how far into the post-meridium it is?
Post meridium. Well, technically, 5.
So it's like a dinner time. It's pretty much about 5 p.m. You just
Perfect.
arrived in time for check-in, so
Sweet. So I'm going to saunter up to the bar, buy the cheapest meal I can and the cheapest ale I can, take it over to the corner by the fireplace, put down my food and drink, throw down my pack, my sword and dagger, pull out the drums, start playing and singing an absent-minded tune. At the same time, pulling an old battered hat out of my pack and putting it in front of me, hoping to gather some coin.
roll a perception check. No. Yeah, roll a perception check.
Perception, Roger.
We're probably the only ones in this bar.
Not for now. That's a 17.
Woo!
You can see the clearly disapproving glance that the high elf is shooting at you, and she says, if you want a busking license, you have to essentially buy one through the town guard.
And the high elf is a lady, right?
Yes.
Yeah, just want to make sure I ascertain that before responding. To which I'll make sure that I'm sitting in such a way that is not, shall we say, gentlemanly in a kilt.
Right.
Look her dead in the face and say, "Aye, lassie, I get it, but who says I'm sitting here busking?" And continue to play and sing.
Can you roll me a persuasion check, please?
Absolutely. An 18.
She kind of shrugs and goes, well, maybe the music will draw customers. You're allowed to continue and play. Can you give me a performance check now?
I absolutely can. Oh, that's sad. It's only a 21.
Oh yeah, so sad.
You crush it. You are having a grand old time, and you've got a drum, but somehow the drum seems to be more than just a drum. And it is a delightful pairing to your meal. Your music is actually higher quality than the meal is.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
As he starts kind of singing, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to walk over and I'm going to put my hand on his shoulder and I'm going to try and accompany him as best I can in kind of a low baritone.
Oh, nice.
You also roll a performance check.
Can I assist him with that?
No, because he's assisting you technically.
18.
Oh,
Ooh,
God.
nice.
This is turning into like a jam. So this rather poncy sort of half-elf kind of came in, sat down, started banging his drum, humming a tune, and then immediately the tiefling is like, I know that tune, and just kind of like wanders over, and the two of them are now starting in a duet.
Yeah, I'm just rocking out, just having a good time. I know this one. I learned it when I was sailing, and I'm drinking my cheap beer and just having a ruckus time.
So what you're saying
I'm
is
even
that
carrying
you've broken out into a random sea shanty.
Yes, yeah.
Great.
I'll just look over at the half orc and just like kind of like half nod with my head and say, I don't know this one.
Yeah. And
Then
then I go and sit in the farthest corner from the music as possible.
I'm surprised you didn't say, like, oh, I knew this guy before. He was cool.
He's gone mainstream. He's sold out. Zach, what have you done with the animal you killed?
Oh, it's just still over my shoulder. Just kind of dragging it with me. It's coming with me.
The high elf kind of calls after you and says, if you wish to drain it, you can kill it outside, preferably. Please not in the room.
Why?
There will be a cleaning charge for an unnecessary amount of blood.
Fair enough.
When she says that, I sing, unnecessary amount of blood.
This is going to do a metal show. I like it.
Yeah.
So you all sit down and kind of enjoy each other's ambiance and meal, and it only takes about 15 minutes for what you assume to be half the town to just start emptying out of homes, coming into the random sea shanty singers, and really starting to partake in your sort of improvised festival. I'm gonna assume that you're kind of jumping from sea shanty to sea shanty. And
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna keep singing, but I'm also gonna spend a gold to buy a round for everybody.
Okay. Can you give me a D? Roll 2 d20s and add them together.
Who? Me? What? Yes.
Mitchell, roll
Yes.
2 d20s and add them together.
That is a 20 total.
Okay, so 20 patrons of various sizes and shapes and colors and creeds all seem to come out. The one thing that they all share is a deep love of the sea. It being a port town, there's a couple of sailor makers, dockyard workers, some like wives and girlfriends, some of the younger kids, but there is no one race that is predominating the area. There's no one sort of, I guess the best way to describe it would be conquering race. Like it's just a bunch of people who came together and got tired of being poked around. So you see tieflings, you see a couple of dragonborns, you see a couple of half orcs, you see high elves, half elves, humans, and they're crammed in there. This place is at capacity, and the high elf bartender is doing everything she can to manage everything. Can I get the two of you or one of you to roll a performance check, either both of you individually or one of you at advantage?
I will assist who I assume is a bard.
All right, I will roll with advantage.
Yes, so I think we've confirmed that Simon is a bard.
I
Who
was
said such
con-
things?
I
What?
was convinced that, with the bagpipes, probably not a bard, but you never know.
What's a more inspiring weapon or inspiring instrument when you're, punching someone's face in than a bagpipe?
Very
Yeah.
good.
But my performance check rolled in at a 22.
Oh, smashed it. People are having a great time. And they're really starting to let loose. Like they're going. I imagine something very similar to like a Halifax bar on like a really good Friday night when the fleets come back into town. Like everybody's just dancing with
yeah.
everybody, and a lot of people know each
So
other,
much
and
fun.
they're doing everything they can to prepare themselves for Royal Audience Day, which is happening tomorrow. And everybody is kind of talking about some of the things. It's almost like, what are you going to ask Santa Claus for Christmas? It's, what are you going to ask the king for on Audience Day? Can I get all of you to roll perception checks, please?
Yes.
21.
Nice. Oh, no, on the table. Jeez. Oh, wow. Yeah, no, I'm too wrapped up in my song. I only got 14. No, that's a lie. That's 12.
22.
18.
Oh, yeah. So, Simon, you're the only person who doesn't really pick up on anything because you're too busy thinking of what the next verse is going to be, what the next song you're going to pick is. I assume Barrett's Privateers is in there somewhere.
The year was 1778. I wish I was in Sherbrooke now.
There's, let's say, Mitchell, you overhear like a fairly poor couple talking about how they're going to ask the king for a house. Like there's an old abandoned I get you to roll a d20 to determine what the abandoned building is.
That's a 5.
Yeah, it's another, like it's a two-story house that has been empty for a while, and like the previous owner probably abandoned the place or disappeared. They're not too sure what ended up happening, but they want it, and they want it free of charge. And they've got a pretty decent idea. They're like they have a pretty decent business idea. You don't catch what the business idea is. Zach, you overhear kind of like one of the sail makers, and you can tell that they're a sail maker just because of like just the calloused, beat up hands that they have. And being this close to the ocean, you've seen this stuff before. They're talking about how they're going to ask the king for a ship. There's one or two vessels in the royal fleet and they would like to transition from being sail makers to honest to God, like naval officers. They want to captain a ship. They want to go over the horizon. It's an inspiring tale, but you don't get the sense that they know what they're talking about. And they could sail the ship, they could do the mechanics of it, but the actual logistical getting over the horizon and back again can be quite challenging. And then finally, Spencer, you overhear just like a really hushed conversation between two people, and they've asked for, they're gonna ask for a pardon. One of them, you can't determine who is a convicted felon, but they're talking about, it was only one guy and it was in self-defense, and he really doesn't need to be exiled, and the guy was a pirate anyways, and
It was only like 20 cats, come on.
yeah. But this is your first kind of... You're in the town to discover some stuff about dark magic. You're starting to hear rumors about a felon who wants to get pardoned, and now there are totally pirates off the coast of Yorick. All right.
Makes sense.
I'm just going to take a second, and I'm going to put my hand on the person I'm singing with, and I'm going to kind of get him to stop singing. I'm going to extend my hand, and I'm going to say, my name is Sirius. So what's your name, fine gentleman?
Pleasure to meet you, Sirius. My name is Barry.
Barry. Okay, cool. It was great singing with you. I'm going to go have a smoke, and I'm going to go have a drink. But that was really fun. We should do that again sometime.
Absolutely. When you come back, we'll do it again.
Okay. And I kind of move away. And I kind of try and mingle. I'm looking for like a female tiefling, kind of like trying to talk up some ladies and then smoke a cigarette.
Okay.
Oh, I should use the bagpipes. The drummer never gets laid.
Yeah.
Trust me, I know. Yeah,
Mitchell, can you give me a perception check, please?
of course. Come on, I've been rolling good all night. Keep this one good. Oh, that is so good. That is a 19.
You notice as more people gather, there's a shady two dudes who've come in, and you know how everyone wears like bright colors in the summer, and they're really trying to show off. These guys have shown up in the middle of summer with cloaks, and the cloaks are specifically designed such that you can't really make heads or tails of what is in and around their midsection.
Fair enough. Would I recognize? I can't see any skin or anything. But I couldn't make out any tattoos or any sort of thing like that, right?
No, but you do see their faces, and it's two, I'm gonna say, like middle-aged humans, a human male and a human female.
Okay, no face tattoos.
No.
Oh, that's another thing. My character has a rather large face tattoo.
Mike Tyson.
Yeah, no, not like that. It's like waves under each of his eyes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it's not uncommon for sailors to like have face tattoos, so that's kind of an easy way to pick them out. So that's what I was looking for, to see if I noticed anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But if they didn't, they're just shady. That's cool too.
Zach, can I get you to make a just give me like a general insight check?
Insight, okay.
Zach's rolling that hot fire.
Ooh, 3.
Your meal is great, and your recent kill is beginning to attract flies.
Oh. I'll just leave it there and kind of move to another table.
Okay. So. No. Let's get rid of that. Alright. So you're all enjoying the merrymaking, and I would say it probably lasts, let's see how long it lasts. Spencer, can you roll a d4 for me, please?
1.
So it really only lasts about an hour, so you make it to like the 6:30-ish time frame. When
Hardest party for an hour.
Hey, well, I mean, the party continues to last. That is until everybody starts to like pay really close attention to what the two people are doing. So those two, the human male and female who are in full kind of head-to-toe cloaks, seem to have come in, and they almost like stop the music by their presence alone. And can I get everybody to make perception checks one last time?
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Ooh.
That sucks.
24.
18.
5.
So Zach and Simon, you guys recognize that these people are armed. Underneath their cloaks, they're doing a fairly good job of it, of hiding a sort of pommel. So they have probably some sort of bladed weapon underneath.
Are we talking like big, like a sword, or like a dagger?
Like a sword, an S word.
Oh, jeez.
Size.
God, I wouldn't know this. Damn it. Never mind.
Do they appear to be nefarious? I guess, for lack of a better word.
Roll an insight check.
All right.
I would like to not detect good and evil. What's the thing that I could do? It's a thing divine sense.
Yeah. And that is. Oh, what is that? Simon, what's your number?
20.
They are sizing up the people that they can kill the fastest.
Okay. So I can obviously detect that they're evil then, because I can detect good and evil. I can also sense celestials, fiends, and undead within 60 feet.
Yeah, these two are blazing kind of black pits of evil. And there's a couple of like good and evil people inside the room. You know, there are evil
average good and evil.
Yeah, like they're not murderous intent. The convict, surprisingly enough, actually you didn't overhear the convict, so you don't know. But these two people who were in cloaks, and the party kind of stops being like, "You're harshing our zen, bro," and then they throw the cloaks off in a big grand reveal, draw their scimitars, and just start going postal on the crowd, trying to kill as many people as possible.
Holy shit!
What?
So
I'm definitely gonna run into that.
Yeah, so,
I'm all about that.
Yeah, I need all of you to roll initiative, please.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Fuck yeah.
Holy shit!
20 total.
That's unfortunate. Actually, this could go well. That might not be so bad.
4.
11.
19.
20.
Alright. B1. Cool. And B2. Alright. So they would technically get a surprise round, and they're going to spend their surprise round doing like a lot of damage to people. Just like
shit.
Just bad. It's just very bad. So they. I'm not even going to make them roll for attacks because they're so close to everybody. They are cutting people down left and right.
Fuck.
They get through, I'm going to say, like 2 before combat begins in earnest, in which case we will go to Spencer, who is propped up on a bar.
Okay. Like, I might have left all of my shit on the side, but, like, the one thing that I wouldn't have left anywhere except for beside me is my glaive, and so basically I would take that, and like, how far away are they from me? Are they 10 feet or less?
It is.
Have to move.
I am just gonna call it like super ridiculously packed tavern, difficult terrain.
Okay.
But you are more or less within 10 feet.
But it's super packed.
Oh yeah, it's tough.
Okay, in that case, I'm actually just going to go in unarmed then, and I will attempt to grapple one of them.
Okay.
That's 24.
I don't know why I'm rolling this. Natural 20. No. So do you grab the human or the? Do you grab the woman or the man?
Did one of them do more damage than the other, or whichever one's closest to me? It wouldn't really matter to me.
I'm gonna say the one that is closest is the guy.
Okay, and like basically, like the intent of this is to basically hold him and then disarm him next turn.
Okay, but you have a hold of the guy.
Yeah, and ideally, like pinning his blade.
Okay. We now go to Mitchell.
I am going to try and put, like, I'm assuming I'm in the crowd. I'm going to push my way, so I'll get half movement, right, is what's happening?
Yeah, exactly.
So if I'm within 15, I'll get within 15, and I'm gonna take out my warhammer and my shield, and I'm just gonna, because knowing that that gentleman is grappling, whoever that was, I missed if it was the boy or a girl. I'm gonna try my best to cave that person's head in while he's holding on to them.
Okay. So speed is 0. Can't benefit from any bonuses. I'll give you advantage on it because the guy's being held still. But
Fair.
be wary of
Of critical miss.
yeah, don't critical miss.
Please.
I would have to get 2 1s, so that is a natural 20.
Oh, smash him! All right,
Bye.
do that voodoo that you do so well.
Okay, so that is 11 damage.
Immediately annihilated. So, Spencer, you know, for the betterment of the people, reach forward and grapple the guy, and then the tiefling comes up and goes, "Thanks, buddy," and smashes his head entirely in.
I kind of like nod as I'm like, and just like instantly kill them.
Yes, you did.
I look like mildly affronted by it, like this splatter of blood all over me. And as I look at the tiefling, I'm like, he wasn't killing anyone anymore. We could have just stopped him.
I looked and I said he was killing people before. That makes him dead now.
So now we go to the human male the human female who ignores that her companion has just been crunched, and instead continues to cut a swath, chasing people out of the tavern. So the tavern dance floor is beginning to disperse, but people are like clamoring over each other to try and get out, while this maniac continues to do like a machete impression. We will now go to Simon.
All right, so I figure I'm still very close to where I left all my belongings, so I'll walk back to that pile, drop the drum, and take up the pipes. And over this tumult of a tavern murder scene comes these skirling tunes of awesomeness, similar to this.
Oh god.
Beautiful.
I'm slightly aroused.
And I picked this to the flavor text for what I'm doing now, which is the equivalent of casting dissonant whispers at this female who is tearing through these people.
All right, what do you want me to do? I make a save, you make an attack.
Yeah. So the target must make a wisdom saving throw.
That's fine. I get no bonus. Bring it. Straight dice.
Nice.
Excellent. It just has a spell DC of 15.
2.
At level 1?
Yes.
Damn!
Yeah. Simon's character is the most charismatic.
You
Yeah.
already have a 20 charisma.
I will neither confirm nor deny that fact.
I think we all rolled pretty good.
Yes, you all rolled surprisingly good.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, everybody did really well on strength, like super well on strength.
I don't want to spoil it, but I do have a 17 in strength right now. So
I
I don't want to
10.
spoil it, but mine's the best. So.
Dost thou have a modifier of +5?
Oh, maybe.
So go ahead and roll your damage for Dissonant Whispers.
Did she make the save?
She did not. She rolled a 2.
Oh, this is 3d6.
Yes! Level 1!
Sadly, that's only... Yeah, there's no plus to that. It's just raw 3d6, so that's a total of 7 damage.
All right.
And must immediately use its reaction, if available, to move as far as its speed allows away from me.
So you begin to hammer out some sort of tune, if you could call it that, on your agony bags. And this woman is trying to push away and cut into people. She looks back and hears it, and then immediately starts to bleed out of her nose and eyes and ears, and is now joining the people running away. She's ignoring killing people, and now she's pushing everyone out the door, like, out, I have to get out of here. Which brings us to last but certainly not least, Zach.
So how close can I get? How far?
Oh, you can murder this lady. You can do.
Okay.
You can go.
I roll up and just punch her in the face.
Okay. So you're punching. You're not going to use your magnificent axe.
No, just gonna punch.
Okay.
Use the axe.
Fine, I'll use the axe, I guess.
Oh, yes.
Okay, I'll just bring it down, like trying to cut her in half.
Just idly try and cut her in half.
17.
Oh yeah, you hit.
Okay. Oof. 12 damage.
So that kills her and has enough residual damage to kill her again if she was at full hit points. So so there's this weird scene where the half-elf pulls out his agony bags and starts to squeak and squawk, and then the person tries to leave, and then the half-orc just nonchalantly, I imagine you picking up your axe with just kind of like, a big shrug, and just reaching out and then cleaving her down the middle. So two floppy bits come down either side, and there's more screams and yelling and pushing as more people are trying to get out of the tavern. With the threat annihilated, which is the only word that would befit what fell these people, you all can take a look at the tavern and the aftermath. And there's about like 3 or 4 people who have died, who are clearly a member of the town.
Are they dead, or are they enough that I could use lay on hands to bring them up to 1?
No, they're dead.
Nah.
Crap.
They're NPC dead.
Okay, yeah, nope, that's solid.
That's unfortunate.
Are there any alive that would help from a medicine check?
Yeah.
Sure, go ahead.
I would also I'll assist on this.
Roll an advantage.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, wow, nice. It's a 22.
You come to the conclusion that bladed weapons are bad when they pierce the skin.
Yes.
And
This is new to us. We've never known this.
yeah, a lot of the stuff that was on the inside is no longer on the inside, and you presume that is why they expired.
Are any of them blue bloods?
Was that?
Blue
Or at
blood's
least-
like nobility?
I meant like literally blue blood, but also because it is a monarchy, it would be important to know if any of the people who died
Roll a history check.
family. Sorry?
Roll a history check.
6?
I'm
I'm proficient in history. I rolled a 2.
You're not particularly familiar with the royal families of of Yorick, basically.
Makes sense.
So now the 4 of you are here in the tavern. Everyone else has decided to leave. What would you like to do?
The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to walk over to Spencer's character. I'm going to take out a large kind of rag, and I'm going to hand it to him. And I'm going to say, "Here, young one, wash your face off. The blood has gone inside your nose."
I snort out the blood and just
A piece of skull comes out with it.
yeah, it sounds about right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, so you reject
I-
my...
Oh no, I snort out the blood and then I just take the rag and I start cleaning off my face.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to go back to my hat and see if any of these patrons had left me some money.
Give me a performance check there, music man.
Oh, that's a poor one. Only 14.
Yeah, roll a d10.
Right. 8.
Yeah, you walk away with 8 silver pieces.
Nice.
And there's an address that's written down on it. It looks like someone just dropped a piece of paper with an address.
The old way of leaving a phone number.
Do I see him scrounging up the money that he's earned with my assistance?
Yes, of course you do. There's
I'm
not
gonna
a
be
whole lot going on.
half is mine.
Oh, yeah, no, that's fair. I'll give him a bit of a side eye a couple times, down to gold, down to the silver, up at him, down to the silver, up at him, down to the silver, wait, up at him, down to the silver, wait, and then hand over 4 silver.
I take it with a smile on my face and I say, "Thank you."
And I'll go back to the bar and ask for more booze.
After this massacre, more booze.
You
Or
notice
spilled my last one.
that the high elf who ran the joint is gone. Probably left in the crowd of people attempting to escape murder.
I'll
Open
go over the bar
bar!
to start taking some.
Oh, snap.
I'm gonna go just like take a look outside and see if I can find like the equivalent of a guard, a crown's guard or whatever.
Yeah.
Just let them know what happened.
So you step out, and the streets are like people are
I
running.
am going to drink free. I'm drinking free brews while this is happening.
Okay.
Same.
All right, I'm glad everyone's more or less on the same page. So,
Mhm.
you give me a perception check there, Spencer.
Yep. 20 total.
Oh yeah, okay. You can see coming from what you assume to be the monarch's house, more of a mansion, I suppose. There's like two humanoid-looking things that are running towards you. One of them has like a couple of short swords ready, and the other one's got like a big two-handed maul warhammer type jobby, and they're both like sprinting in your direction.
Okay. I would kind of just be standing at ease outside the door, just waiting for them.
Just idly waving like, "Hello, murder here."
Yeah, basically just waiting to get that for them to get there so I can explain what happened.
Okay. So it doesn't take all that long. They make it to the Black Spider Inn, and like they run right past you. They go rushing into the tavern, ready to fuck shit up, and they realize that there isn't any fucking of shit left to be done because the shit's been fucked.
As they walk in, I immediately I'm like sitting behind the bar and I'm smoking a cigarette and I'm just drinking right out of the tap.
Taking a couple of the expensive bottles and just sat down somewhere.
I'm just drinking beer and I kind of look up and I go, yeah, does this happen often around here? Or yes, no, we want to, because we were just having a good time and then the murder started, so we killed him. But like, is this a common occurrence? Or
So the two guards look around and see that there isn't anything left to be killed.
How shaken are the guards?
Roll an insight.
Like, okay. Fucking fuck. 8.
They look shaken, like they were ready to do action. They heard tell of murders, but they didn't know that it was just a random two people rolled in with swords and decided to cut their way to the bar.
Cool.
So the male looks to be a human, probably around like a 35, like an elder guardsman with like hobbled together armor.
Okay.
It's a chain shirt, but there's like leather in portions, and it's this person has relied upon gear and expertise rather than fancy gadgets. So it's someone who clearly knows the way around two short swords, while at the same time having the experience of, I'm going to run headlong into a fight. I'm wearing all the things I need to shank a bitch.
fair enough.
And he kind of looks around and goes, so did you make whistles a killing, or how did that happen?
Yeah.
No. See, they did the killing, and then we did the killing of them.
Right, and so after the killing, you just helped yourself to the bar?
I
Well,
came and waited
no.
for you, actually.
Well, yes, I figured it was payment for the deed that I did your town, murdering these murderers.
Yeah, what that guy said.
So there's a tiefling and a half-orc behind the bar, both like eating
Just
ice
jacked.
cream out of the machine.
Currently serving the dirty half elf sitting at the bar.
Yeah. Well, you are newcomers here? Yes, you arrived today then.
I arrived on the last ship that came in, actually.
Yeah, I kind of wandered in from the forest like 5 hours ago.
I gesture at the half elf, and again we walked in however many hours ago. Not together, just kind of following one another.
I kind of pipe up real quickly. The more we talk about this, the more suspicious this sounds.
And
He's an 8.
Why?
the male guard is clearly like, you're pretty quick. You're picking up what I'm thinking. So maybe you come down to the mansion with me and we ask you a couple of questions. I don't know. I'm thinking out loud, maybe individually. And then we find out which one of you actually inspires these people to murder, because all I am seeing are many dead bodies, and the only 4 people who appear to be witnesses, and then...
Right in half the town.
And then the he looks over to the female guard and goes, this is going to be a long night. I need you to round up the whole fucking town. And we need to have a little talk. But I'm going to stay here with these fine gentlemen. I assume we all are gentlemen, not, I don't know, ladyboys? And he's like specifically looking at the half-elf like, I don't want to misgender you.
Laddie up at the eyes is just a kilt.
Excellent. Okay. Well, the female guard kind of like spins and heads back out again, and it takes a couple of minutes, and then you can hear like the town bell going off, and that's clearly the sign of everybody needs to get out of bed or stop putting their PJs on, because
Everyone gather, time for a town meeting.
we got to talk about some stuff.
It is 7:30. This town goes to bed very early.
Yeah.
It's an idyllic retirement area, really.
They work.
So we're in
hard.
Florida.
They go to bed hard.
Oh, this is like the Kingston of D&D.
Yes.
I mean, I was thinking Florida, but yeah, same idea.
Yeah.
That was a very specific joke. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. That narrowed the audience a bit.
Good old Kingston, Ontario, home of the newly
Exactly.
dead and the nearly dead. Boom.
Yeah. Don't forget the prison.
I mean, we already made a Halifax joke. If this one's Canadian,
Yeah, it's pretty clear we're all Canadians at this
We'll
point.
start making Dalhousie jokes, and everybody will be like, "What the hell?" Is
now what about this?
You say people get an hour into this podcast and be like, what? The Canadians, fuck these guys, man, I'm out.
Okay, so like you and Tony and Joni.
I'd also like to point out our bard's name is Barry. That is very Canadian.
Barry.
Yeah.
To be fair, Lottie, it's short for Barry and Cyanidel, but I prefer
Okay,
Barry.
so less maritime.
Oh.
But still very maritime.
Well, I mean, we've killed people together, so we might as well get to know each other. And I kind of like stand up, and I even in front of the guard guy, I just go, "My name is Sirius Nefire. I am a sailor, and that's me. So now you guys go."
Okay,
I would actually at this point I would go to Sirius and I would hand him back the rag that he gave me,
I take it.
and I offer out the hand and I say, "I'm Nate.
I take it. Nate.
Nate Laurier."
Nice to meet you. Thank you for holding that guy while I killed him. That was spot on, my friend.
and so the
Allegedly killed him. Don't admit to anything yet, lad.
the guard is like
I-
has taken out a pad of paper and a quill, and he's writing. And then his eyebrow raises as you mention you held a guy and then you beat the crap out of him with your warhammer.
Oh, I didn't beat the crap out of him. I if you can see the guy with this caved-in skull, I literally destroyed him.
Yeah, good job.
I put my head in my hands and just whisper, stop talking, stop talking, stop talking.
I mean, like to be
Oh, no.
fair, I did hold him. I can't
Yeah.
deny that.
Yeah, it was great. It was like
we're basically growing out over the fact
Walking his
that
head just-
we had a great combo kill.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm just smoking.
I think that solves at least one of these murders. I assume the one.
Oh, I cut the other one in half. That was me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was fantastic, honestly.
That was
Oh.
very like. Where did you learn your technique? That is
That was
not
the
any technique that I
Spicy
know.
pasta.
Well, you kind of just hold the axe up and just let it drop. Gravity
Oh.
does most of it, honestly.
I mean, I've used axes some, but like I've always favored glaives, swords.
Hmm. I just like, the look of the axe, honestly.
It's a beautiful axe.
Hmm.
So you guys are broing out over your weaponry and the various ways you murder these people. When the town guard is like, okay, so that's 2. Anybody want to admit to the other people just kind of scattered
Oh.
about?
Oh no,
That was the
those are
guys
those
we killed. They killed them.
They killed them. Can I make
100%.
Yeah.
somebody make a persuasion check?
All right. Let's see if I can...
Is that with advantage because we're
I can-
assisting, or is
I
it
can
with disadvantage
so
because we're not?
I would like negative assist.
Oh, I can assist.
I mean, like, I would like to think that we can assist, but at the same time, we have not aided ourselves at all.
So let's see if I can actually wind this down. Am I rolling straight dice, advantage, disadvantage, what here?
I'm going to say straight dice unless
Straight dice.
someone provides assistance. And then,
Yeah, assistance then.
okay,
I will.
Alright.
I will try and suavely
before you roll,
explain.
I'm going to need Simon to actually come up with an explanation as to what happened.
Okay, perfect. I was gonna phrase it around how I rolled.
No,
so
no,
if I rolled,
we will-
If I rolled shit dice, it'd be like
Yeah,
this.
just-
But all right, so let's see what I can craft here. So around the meal that I'm still consuming because I was busy playing, and of course I'm just not giving two shits about these guys getting in my face about it.
You're taking pieces of your meal while you're like, okay, let me show you how this happened.
Right, so the way it went is we all showed up around the same time in this tavern. It was bloody empty. So I sit down with my drum, my beer, my food. I start playing. Suddenly, the whole town seems to show up for their fucking dinner. Amongst this crowd is this lass and her bloke there that you've seen smashed on the floor.
Looking
They come
real
in wearing large cloaks. Middle of summer with large cloaks. They're clearly hiding something. They had some kind of bladed weaponry hidden under their cloak. So meanwhile, middle of the 30th song I'm playing of the night, they pull these blades out and start going to town on the fucking town.
Literally, yeah.
Actually, yeah.
What are we supposed to do but defend ourselves from these two ramparts with our fucking blades? You tell me, lad.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, it was so scary. Totally.
And again, I also point out, like, look, their blades are covered in blood.
That does seem a
They're
bit
still
odd.
in their hands.
All right, Simon,
Yeah.
roll advantage on your persuasion check.
Oh, 20! So that's a 27.
No.
We are smooth.
Fucking bards. All right. So the guard considers it for a moment and goes, "Well, that's perfectly logical. I mean, you make a very stirring point. I won't arrest you. However, we will be gathering the town to kind of talk about the fact that there was a tavern. What do I even call this? Slaughter?
Murder.
Murder?
Murder.
Tavern murder?
Murder.
It was a slaughter.
And he gets
A
down.
drive-by stabbing.
And
Does he recognize the two?
he's just about to do that, yeah. So he kind of, well, the person who still has a head, which is in two different pieces, like basically grabs the two sides and slowly starts to put them together and go, oh
Oh
yes,
god, that's gross.
I see who this is. Okay, and
Aligning the face to determine who it is.
and then he
Does the guy have any like markings on his hands, his feet, anywhere else on his body other than his face?
he does not.
Well, that's unfortunate.
So they, the guard is able to piece together who it is, and he doesn't say the name out loud. However, he does write it down in his book.
Can I see it?
Yeah, I was gonna say, am I close enough to peek over?
Give it a perception check.
21.
10. I know he's writing.
So, Simon, you look over, and you're pretty sure he's writing like a Gerald, like a G,
Gerald.
like a G name. You're pretty sure you have a hard time deciphering what his chicken scratch is. Spencer, however, you look over and you immediately are able to tell that he is in fact writing Gerald.
Oh, good, it is Gerald.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's Jerry!
Oh my god, large orc man, you murdered Jerry!
Who?
Let me guess, was his wife's name Terry?
Jerry and
Wait,
Terry.
wait.
Well,
I think Jerry's
actually,
a girl.
the
Oh,
wife.
yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Because the guy
The guy is super dead.
guy had his face caved in. Yeah, you're right.
So you may kind of assume that Gerald is a last name,
Ah,
as in the Geralds. The Geralds formerly of Yorick, I guess. Formerly the Geralds.
Did
Formerly.
you notice, like, the town criminals and people just let them hang around?
Well, no,
I
it's
love
just like
how
They,
formal
they
they
probably
are.
just got out of prison. They just wanted some food, and then they realized, oh look,
I love
murder's
stabbing.
free.
I love stabbing. They were like, you know what we're gonna do today? We're gonna go to the tavern. They got up, got dressed, and were like, we'll go to the tavern. We'll stab a bunch of random people.
Well,
Murder.
we have to. We're the Stabbing Geralds.
Yeah.
who let the Stabbing Geralds out of jail? God damn it! This happens every time.
Yeah.
Again, back to my further point. It was only like 8 cats. Come on, guys, let us out.
So can I get? Can I get Spencer to roll a d20, please?
19.
Okay.
Heavy breathing.
Nice.
Yeah. ASMR.
Spencer, can you give me a female human name? You will now name the dead Gerald wife.
Her name is Ophelia, because I'm just gonna go full in on this Hamlet thing.
Nicely done.
Mhm.
So, the investigator of the guard kind of shakes his head and goes, "Ophelia Gerald. That's a shame, really. She was a very skilled dancer.
Couldn't dance her way to getting cut in fucking half though.
Yes, well,
Mhm.
she really seemed to be split over her career path."
Ah!
Ha.
I kind of like nod my head.
Ah.
As soon as the guard makes the pun, I'm like, oh, okay, we're fine. That's the moment where I'm like, oh, okay, we're good.
That's when you know you're in the clear.
Really.
And then, Mitchell, can I get you to roll a d20 as well?
Absolutely. That is a 4.
Oh, great. And can I get you to give me the male Gerald's name?
Paul.
If you picked Gerald, I was gonna slap you.
And
Or
then,
Carrie. I mean, that would have been also amazing.
so the guard stands up and says, "Well, that probably means that's Paul."
He looked like a Paul. I mean, he still kind of does, but only in the chest area where I put most of his head.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, the good
Actually,
news is
speaking
that
of, we could probably pull his head out if we needed to check.
Yeah, I can do that for you if you'd like.
Yes, please, please. And
Okay,
I kind
so
of
I just go over and try to pull that out.
and
I'll assist.
You have a
because I
hard
pulled it
time-
from the chest.
you have a hard time with all of this because you realize there is no skull.
Oh.
There is no head. Like, it is a caved-in neck.
Oh, it didn't go in. It just exploded.
Yeah, it's
It
just
is now
gone.
paste.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry,
that
guys.
explains why I had some up my nose.
You actually, and I reach out and I was like, oh, there's some. I kind of pull some off his eyebrow.
Oh.
Oh, Paul.
A bit of brain there, sorry.
But Paul
I looked
actually,
down at myself. I'm gonna have to clean this again.
Paul actually works in the temple. Because, I don't know.
Oh no,
That explains everything.
we killed the clergy.
Well, he was in the
He's
process of
saying he's a murder priest.
what?
A murder priest.
Oh, I mean, he didn't particularly enjoy murder, but I mean, he was.
You.
This is true. He was using his perfect memory to help recreate a couple of lineages. You see, in order for the king to maintain his monarchy, we need to prove his godly heritage. And
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Uh,
So we're not the only people doing crimes here.
so
Oh, zinger.
this isn't good. And then he kind of goes around and he starts collecting like names and identifying of people. So Paul and Ophelia Gerald were like regular everyday people. Ophelia was a avid dancer and loving wife of Paul, who worked at the temple transcribing, basically making copies of books that since they don't have a printing press, they need to do it all by hand. He's one of those monks that spends all of his time copying
Right.
books,
One page.
and like
It's like writing up one page, hands it to the next guy who writes out the next page.
exactly. And the first letter of every paragraph is this beautiful calligraphy, maximum T with ivy and stuff around it. But now all Paul is going to be remembering is what a grape hammer tastes like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rip Paul.
Sorry,
So,
and serious, was it a Warhammer or was it a maul that you use?
it's like Warhammer.
Warhammer? Yeah.
So the guard goes, well, you might as well come with me. I mean, we know you didn't do it.
Sorry, I went out and I came back in.
Okay. Hello.
Good old in and out.
Yeah, classic.
That's what he was planning to do later.
And then I remember that I paid that lady, and I started looking behind the bar for the money that I gave her.
All right.
I think I start looking behind the bar for the prostitute.
Like quickly, like I'm like, that was 2 fucking gold, and I like start looking, I like try and see if there's like a till or anything I can get my gold back. I was there's no way I'm getting laid now.
Well,
Hey, you saved the town. You never know.
roll a perception check there. Sticky
Yep.
fingers.
I'm not trying to be sneaky. I'm just trying to. That is a natural 20.
Oh yeah. You find her coin purse that she basically was just like, I don't want to die. This is gonna weigh me down, and like threw it into the corner. And then you also find the tavern keep equivalent of a cash register.
I literally just look for 2 gold and take my 2 gold back.
All right, so you have your 2 gold back. Now that the madam will not be able to satisfy your carnal
Toss me
desires.
my gold back, because I mean, clearly we're not staying here.
Yeah. Can I get mine back too?
Yeah, and I just kind of start handing everybody's money back, except for the money that we used for the drinks.
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
take it.
I'm gonna pay my drink.
The guard is
I won't take my money back. It'll be spent.
the guard is
All right,
looking at
I
you
kind
people.
of look confused, and then I try and pocket his money too.
Okay, I mean,
I'll just give you a judgy look when you do that, but I'm not gonna say anything.
Okay.
I assume, are you pocketing it as like a, well, if you don't want it, I got it now, or is it
Yep. Yeah,
okay,
not even trying to be sneaky, just
All
like fine.
okay, done.
I'll glare at him and kind of suck my teeth at that. I'm very kind of find it a little distasteful, but that's.
I smile and I say, yeah, gotta do what you gotta do, and I put the coin. How much did you pay in total?
Oh, whatever it is for like the cheapest beer and food.
Yeah, that's like a
Oh,
couple
I wasn't
of-
gonna take. If it was for beer and food, I'll leave it. I just thought you paid for a room.
No, I hadn't paid for a room yet. I was going to see if I could get money to pay for my room by
then
playing music.
I'll take it and then realize that and then return it.
Classy.
Okay.
Well, I obviously we
We
ate
just
and
we're
drank.
getting refunded for what we didn't do.
That's the only thing.
Exactly. We paid for our drinks.
Yeah.
Yep.
No,
Yeah.
we're
I'm
not
fine.
total assholes.
Yeah. I'm not gonna leave 2 gold sitting around when I'm not getting anything. That's not smart. That's no. I'm not even that smart, and I know that's not smart.
So the guard is like, okay, so if you're done refunding yourselves, I guess, which I'm not going to consider a crime considering the murders. Could you come with me at the very least to the town meeting so we can figure out what in the everlasting fuck just happened?
Absolutely, yeah. Let's go do
Don't really
that.
have anything.
I gather my stuff and I'm just gonna walk out. Use my glaive again as my walking stick.
Before I gather my things, I'd like to roll an insight check to make sure he's not just kind of being like, "Oh, just come with me. Everything will be fine. Please just put on these nice handcuffs for me."
Yeah, okay, go ahead. He's a beat cop who's just like trying to figure out what happened, and he's he's walking out before you guys do. He's not trying to see you guys walk out. You have clearly persuaded him that you aren't bad people.
Okay,
Well,
so I'll
perfect.
gather my things and follow.
Okay.
I'll grab the deer and then just when we leave, I'll just leave it outside somewhere.
As he's kind of walking away, I kind of like walk up to him, put my hand on his shoulder, and I go, "I still didn't get your name."
Who, me?
Yes, you, the obviously giant half orc that I'm talking to right now.
Why do you want to know my name?
You know my name.
Yeah, I remember.
It's Sirius Nefire, and I put my hand back out.
I'm Xanaruk.
Xanaruk. Okay, thank you.
I don't shake his hand.
Cool. Yep, okay, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with all of this, and I just kind of continue walking.
Okay. So as you leave the Black Spider Inn, you have a pretty good sense of the size of the town because you see all of it all at once. Kind of off to your right, you can see a pretty decent wharf. There's only, two fairly small sailing vessels that are docked there. One of them that brought in Sirius, thank you, like the cloud.
Yes.
And further out into kind of the open ocean, you can see a couple of vessels that just decided to put anchors down and hang out there. There's a series of buildings as you continue towards the town square for the first time. Now the sun's beginning to set and the light kind of catches it right. You're all taking in the royal mansion for the first time. And it's not like it is a castle or a keep. It's just a big house. And all the houses around here are fairly well made. Some of them have grown a little bit faster than the others, but for the most part, there's only about 10, 15 buildings, and a little bit further off in the distance, you can see a lone standing temple with some light on the inside. So that temple looks kind of like a pretty standard church where there's a steeple and a bell, and the bell's still ringing, and then there's kind of like the main church area. Can I get everybody except for Xanaruk to roll a religion check?
Also, while we're walking up, like I would have walked up with the guard and just said, "Hey, like, I think you mentioned offhand that this is out of character for Paul and Ophelia."
Oh,
I just want to mention that I got 0.
There's no 0 on a D20. Oh, it's a negative modifier.
You don't recognize the symbology at all. You have a hard time determining what the shape is.
I got a 10.
Fair enough.
14 total.
Spencer, you pick it out. That is clearly a dragon in profile that faces to the left. That is a temple of Bahamut, the god of justice and nobility.
Excellent. I kind of nod and keep going.
Great. So as you head towards the town center, inside the town center, there's there's a public stocks, and standing on top of the stocks is a Mitchell. I get you to roll a d10, please.
Sure. That's an 8.
Ooh, that'll be fun. So there's a dragonborn. You roll me another d10, please.
That is a 4.
A 4. Let's see what color he is.
Racist.
So there's a bronze dragonborn who is kind of hefted up above everybody else, and around him is a kind of a retinue of about 10 guards that are all cautiously watching the crowd. And there's a crowd of about 100 people, which you assume to pretty much be the entire town. Some of the races and faces you recognize, some of them you don't. But everybody's just kind of like, why are we out here? This is stupid. And some of the people are kind of visibly shaken. And the bronze dragonborn kind of calls out to everyone and says, Everyone, please, calm down. You're so loud. Now,
is this dragonborn named Ron Burgundy, perhaps?
That stash, though.
Don't bronze dragons have like mouth tendrils anyway?
Yeah, a little bit.
Like gold dragons.
I do believe they do, yeah.
Yeah.
So the bronze dragon continues. Okay. So like, somebody went a little loopy. Hey, Arnold, have you figured out who it is? And the guard who walked you
This
guys
show
in.
is just going to be all puns, and it makes me so happy.
The guard who walked you guys in goes, oh yeah, no, I figured it out. It was a it was Paul and Ophelia Gerald, and then like there's a murmur that runs through the crowd, and the Dragonborn's like, well that sucks.
Let's go. Yeah.
Woo! Woo! Okay, so like, I'm a king, right? We're cool with that? And like, now you begin to realize that there's this bronze crown that's like resting on top of his head. And it's kind of off kilter a little bit, and he continues to adjust it every time it goes off to the side.
And I realized immediately why I didn't recognize any of the noble family at all.
Yeah.
For some reason, I like in my head, I was picturing this Dragonborn in a stockade. I'm like, wait, how is he adjusting his crown if he's in a stockade? I'm like, I'm dumb. Never mind.
He's on top of the stockade.
I see.
Well, I mean, it's over, right? Arnold, it's over? Yeah, no, they got him. It's fine. They'll be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, I think maybe we're done here. Does anyone have anything they need to
I
point
immediately
out?
put my hands up and I go, whoa, done here. 2 random people just murdered a bunch of people in a bar and we had to kill them. And you guys are like, well, that's done. Do. What do you mean?
Yeah.
What
Well,
just happened?
Okay.
That sounds pretty sound to me.
So,
I mean,
like-
Is this normal here? Was this normal for them?
Okay.
Yeah.
seems pretty normal.
Could you the face tattooed boy detective? What's your deal? What is troubling you, my man?
Well, it seems sort of odd, doesn't it?
No.
What seems odd? I'm awake. It's 7 p.m. I don't like it.
Okay, that's odd, but
Okay, so
I'm seriously worried about this town.
some people
Yeah.
that you guys know well, because I'm looking around and seeing that there's like, however many people here, everybody obviously knows each other,
Yeah.
killed some people, and you guys are just like, well, that sucks, and just everybody's good. Nobody's going to be like, hey, there's clearly a deeper issue.
well, I mean,
And
that's normal.
as soon as you're
So-
like,
some of you just lost family.
And
so as you
Hey,
You're not. I just turned to the barbarian. You are not helping.
oh, my bad.
so you're all like as Sirius
Flabbergasted.
points out the fact like, hey, no, like he's sarcastically saying, oh no, everything's fine, and the crowd's just like, yeah, everything's fine. You're doing a great job, King. Woo! Go, King! Woo! And,
Okay.
Can I make an insight check, I'm starting to get, I don't know how the kind of check would this be, but I'm starting to get the drift of something's going on.
Can I get Mitchell? I need you to make up the king's name.
Okay. All right, give me a sec. This is gonna be great. Because, okay, his name is.
That's a strange name.
Zarghul.
Oh.
Okay.
Zarg?
Yeah.
He has an actual Dragonborn name.
Zarghold?
Zarghul et Mondris.
Oh my god.
Can you spell that, please?
Can you use it in a sentence?
Xarghull, and then his last name is Emtondris.
Okay, sure.
I love how Dragonborn's lore friendly.
I
So,
would have gone with like Fred, but
if
Carl?
people, please, the home of Edmondris watches over you always, and there's like this little faint glow around him. Mitchell, can I get you to make a religion check?
Oh God.
nice.
See, I'm not actually good at that.
You have a negative modifier. This is
Natural freaking 20.
So like what, a 12?
So then I have a 19, but it's still a natural 20.
No, I mean, I'll still give you the benefit of the natural 20.
Okay.
It's a little that's not radiance. That's nothing. that's somebody doing something else. But you know for a fact there has been no manifestation of holy powers in the area.
Fair enough.
And like
All right.
Magic.
the
Can I
people
make
are
an
all
Arcana
like,
check.
ooh, yeah, sure, go for it.
I don't know if it's gonna be very good. I don't have a great modifier, but that's a 16.
That's the light spell. That's just him casting light.
Oh,
Interesting.
okay. At 7:30 when we still have some light.
Okay, well, now I'm more confused.
Yeah.
Is he trying to do this to seem like he's mystical and divine?
Insight check for that?
Yeah,
I don't know. What kind of check?
17.
yeah. He's trying to pull a fast one.
He's pulling a fast one. All right.
So not on us though. We recognize this shit.
Oh, I don't.
As he's kind of looking confused, I lean over and I goes, he's pretending to be like a holy king god thing, but he's totally faking it. And I say it out loud.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, hold on. We could use this to our advantage. Not so
I
loud.
said it out loud.
Oh, I said it out loud.
Yeah.
So
I am hoping no one helped you.
the
Wow.
Did you whisper it or did you say it loudly?
Just like a casual conversation, like just trying to explain to this man beside me that this person is faking this.
Ah,
So the king continues while you guys are kind of talking amongst yourself, going, "Thank you to the beautiful people in the back who have helped us in our time of need," and everyone starts applauding.
I'm still covered in blood.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Same. Yeah, just
Like we haven't had a chance to clean up, and I had a face smashed right in front of mine.
and I cut someone in half right in front of me, so.
And you're already carrying a deer that was probably leaking
Oh,
entrails.
yeah. Good point.
So I'll put my hand up and say, "Thank you, my lord. Surely this entitled us to a private audience with you to perhaps discuss certain things for reimbursing us for the service we provided you."
Roll a
Ooh,
persuasion
yeah.
check.
Persuasion?
Yeah.
20.
Nice.
He considers it and goes, "How about in the morning?" Oh man, what time is it? I'm out of here. King out, and he gives you like the peace sign and like just flops backwards, and then you didn't notice it before, but there's just like a dude that's there who catches the king, and then they slowly like go back off into the mansion while the retinue like encircles them and kind of carries on back into.
He's got his dedicated carrying bodyguard.
That's right.
Mhm.
Nice.
When
I
you
love
when you're the
and
king of
hate
a
this
small
individual.
village was that?
I said I love and hate this individual. at the same time.
Yeah, that's about how I feel right now.
When you're the king of a small village, you get away with a lot.
Yeah.
So the
okay.
crowd begins to disperse. Now about 6 people less than there were previously.
Oh, too soon.
Oof.
I would say that the evening is your own for whatever it is you would like to do.
I'm heading back to the tavern.
I'm gonna walk over to. I'm sorry, Spencer. I forgot your character's name. I didn't write it down.
Nate.
Thank you. Sorry. I'm gonna walk over to Nate, and I'm gonna be. So you got that he was faking that whole thing, right?
Do I hear him say that?
I'm walking
Yeah.
over to Nate saying
It's
out
fair
loud.
to say that you are all like, I would say that the town begins to disperse, and then it's the you four like looking at each other, and Arnold is there, like who's also about to leave.
We would let Arnold leave, and then we would have our conversation.
Yeah, I feel like you would.
Arnold just kind of peeks in and goes, "Well, good job. Case is closed." So, and like there's an awkward pause where he's like, "See you later," and then like slowly starts to just walk away.
I go bye.
Thank you, Arnold.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the reason I came here is because I've heard that there was dark magic being used in the area. That didn't seem dark though. That just seemed like he was fucking with people.
Oh man, I wasn't even trying.
Right,
Just
and you
not-
don't think fucking with poor people for your own personal gain is evil?
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Now I
I-
have to care.
Well, no.
Why?
What I was getting at was I don't think like yes, it's not good, but it's not like it wouldn't fall into like the definition of evil. People do good and bad things. There isn't like there's a spectrum, and everybody kind of falls everywhere on it. It doesn't.
See,
That
for me,
didn't-
it's
that
it's
didn't
the
feel
whole
dark.
impersonating the holy thing that I can't really let slide.
That's reasonable.
That's unacceptable for somebody of my
Persuasion.
well,
Persuasion.
Leanings?
yeah, persuasion. Yeah, I didn't want to have to do. I wasn't even going to stay here. I was just looking for something. I was going to talk to a couple people and move on. But now I have this whole thing to deal with. So, yep, that's fun. And I don't get to have wild sex tonight. So,
I mean,
I don't know if you guys are interested in helping.
I can't decide if Zanrak was going to like offer there or.
I'm good.
Samrook is a people pleaser.
Do you have a visible symbol on you?
Yes, my shield is obvious. Is not only the waves on my face, which if you make any sort of small religion check, you'll be able to know that it's a symbol of
23.
Yeah, so it's a symbol of Melora, which is the goddess of the sea.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense to me.
And then it's basically like written on my shield.
He has a neck tattoo that says Melora for life.
yeah, exactly.
With the actual number 4.
Yeah.
Yes.
No regrets.
I lift up my chainmail and it's across the top of my stomach.
No, that one says Po Buddy's perfect.
I kind of like just reach down, like I pull out like the amulet that I wear underneath my chainmail, and it's just a symbol of cord. Yeah.
A like-minded and persuasion individual.
I was trained in this, but I never really got it. So I never had the force of personality to actually do much with it. I'm just good with weapons, is what it comes down to.
Meloros has spoken to me directly before, so yeah.
That is why my family doesn't like me.
Is that like your sister? Or...
No, she's a goddess of like the entire world. She's the goddess of the sea.
Yeah, but
she's
they don't
all
talk
powerful.
to people. That's not.
No, yeah, I didn't think so either.
Yeah, and that's because it's not true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a weird thing, and now because of that,
isn't
and
real.
because of essentially, I thought I have to care about this situation because she's gonna be super pissed if I don't.
Yeah, so we should
Go ahead.
Also, sorry, DM. Why did I know that there was dark magic in the area?
Well, I feel like I am gonna have to try and maybe tonight sit it out, but I'm gonna try and get an audience with that king, and you can't see me doing the air quotes, but king, because he's got some splaining to do to my warhammer. Possibly.
Well, he did tell us that if we come back tomorrow, he'll sit down with an audience with us, so that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, if we wanted to, we could go back to the inn, but it's gonna stink at this point.
And
Where else are we gonna stay? Well,
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the only-
I mean, we could stay outside.
I could do that too.
I have no problem with that. I'm an urchin, let's be honest.
I am going back to the inn.
I kind of want to go back to.
Actually, I want to check out that note that had an address on it. That was in my hat.
Because you might have a place to stay.
What's what language is it written in?
Oh, it's definitely written in common.
Okay. I guess has the town gone to sleep? Is there no one I can ask around about where this address is?
It's like 8 p.m. and there's 2 streets, so you're able to piece together
It's
where
Jasper.
it is.
We're literally just in Jasper.
I have driven through it, so I know what you're talking about. So yeah, I'm gonna investigate, see if I can find this address and take a look at what the house looks like.
So the address literally says, number 4 on West Lane, and you're currently walking down East Lane, so you can surmise that it's kind of on the other end of town towards like the Temple of the Being that you can't figure out what it is.
Yep.
But
I would just tell people at this point it's Bahamut.
Okay. So the Temple of Bahamut, there's a direction where that house would be, where that address is.
Yeah, I want to go. I want to go check it out.
Okay. Do you go alone?
Are we just following him at this point? Because it'd be kind of.
I'm confused because I was just standing there awkwardly, and he was just looking at this piece of paper. So he obviously hasn't said anything out loud. Yeah. So I'm just kind of like, are we friends now, or what?
Hey buddy, what you doing?
I have a note here from my hat that someone left that says 4 West Lane.
Oh, so you have a place to stay, is what you're saying.
I don't know, perhaps.
Now, do you think it was like a note like, man, you sing so good, come over and see me? Or was it like, I know what's happening in this town?
Yeah.
I mean, either way, do you think they'd allow bunkmates?
I mean,
They
I'm fine to cuddle, but I just want to know if, well, I mean, it's a lead, right?
Let's check our options. Either we sleep on the street, we sleep in the slaughter inn, or we go to this house and figure out what's going on, and they might let us stay there.
I kind of want to go to the slaughter inn. Sounds fun.
I kind of want to go back too, but at the same time, I'm not tired. I'd be down to go.
Let's do the house, and if the house is a bust, we'll go sleep with the bodies.
Right, so
Works for me.
Right.
You guys are turning into a real like mystery crew. You guys need to get a dog and a redhead and a blonde. Somebody wear a
Well, in
cravat.
real life, we have one, right? Yeah. Anyway.
All right. So you head over to 4 West Lane. Spencer, also known as Nathaniel, Nate for short. Can I get you to roll an intelligence check, please?
Sure. 10.
This is the abandoned house you overheard about.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm like, oh. I turned to him like, yeah, no, this is not a booty call. This house is abandoned.
So what you're saying is it's a free inn.
Huh.
I mean, there was a couple that wanted to ask the king for it, so it's not theirs yet.
I mean,
Wait, are we going to go in? Is this a thing we're doing? Who's
I
going?
think we should check it out.
do you want me to go in?
Yes.
Yeah, let's go check it out.
I want to go up and knock on the door.
Okay. I'll accompany the back, but I will let them go first.
Yeah, I'll go up to the front and like with the bard to knock on the door.
Okay. So you knock on the door, and the knocking sound kind of echoes and then gives way as the door just slowly opens on its own with kind of a loud, like...
I immediately ready my glaive.
Divine sense.
That's pretty savage. So I'll lean just...
No, I just straight up walk in.
Just my head in and just kind of say, hello?
So...
as the barbarian just pushes past you. Sirius?
Yes.
Sirius, you said that there was, you were in the back and then you wanted to use Divine Sense?
Yes, please.
Okay. There are really like 2 evil things on the inside of it. There is a fiend that seems to be like crouched up in the rafters up top. And there's a evil presence looking to be like a humanoid who's up on the 2nd level, but like a couple of rooms back, who is...
Immediately, I'm like, eyes up, boys, there's a fiend in that baby.
Huh?
I just move in and like, and I'm gonna, if I can see it, I'm gonna try to stab at it, because I can reach the roof.
I need everyone to roll initiative.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Roll
Initiative?
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
jeez. I was about to whip out my agony bag.
17.
Nice. 18.
13.
Nice.
5.
Apparently when it comes to combat, I can't roll crap. But everything outside combat, I've been hitting like a...
Yeah, you've been doing well.
Yeah.
Now wait, is the DM gone or is he still here?
Oh, he's plotting.
I'm plotting, considering, pondering, pontificating, adjudicating.
You're cutting out occasionally, so I get a little worried.
It's because I'm doing shit in the background, which I think I will cease and then just do music afterwards, or not at all. Who knows?
Fair enough.
Okay, so there is a smaller, kind of a purpley thing that is crouched up at the top of the rafters of this. It's a pretty large opening. So this was it was a middle class home that has been abandoned. So you walk in and it's a really nice kind of like foyer area. And up top, you can see this thing crouched, kind of looking at you in a weird avian head cocked to the side, and its body is covered in spines, and it carries a trident-y fork thing.
Do I recognize this being?
Why don't you roll a religion check at advantage?
That's not going to be good.
I'll give you advantage though.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good because that was a natural one. That is a 15.
Oh, okay.
It is not of this plane. It's a devil. It's a smaller, kind of more of a nuisance devil, but it does need to be summoned in order to be active. It doesn't just naturally appear.
I'm
Fair enough.
already stabbing at it.
Yeah, and it's Zach's turn.
Okay, well, I'll pull out my one of my javelins and just toss it right at it.
All right.
17 again to hit.
Yep, that'll do it.
And... Oh, only 6 damage.
Aw.
Okay. So you huck this javelin up, and it kind of grazes past it and does a little bit of damage as it kind of like squawks back at you.
Ooh,
Oh, good.
gross.
And then it is Spencer's turn.
Okay, I'm attacking with my glaive if I can. I'm assuming it's 10 feet within 10 feet?
Yeah,
Or I can
I
move
mean,
within. Yeah, okay.
10-foot ceilings for a middle-aged home is pretty good.
So that's a natural 1.
You kind of like
I swear I'm good at this, guys.
you reach up with your glaive, and it just kind of like hops over to one side, still kind of gripping one of the rafters. Then we will go
That's my
to
turn, yeah.
Simon.
So I see this spiky thing screeching from the rafters,
Mm-hmm.
and clearly it is not looking happy. So before I have a chance to ready the agony bags, I'll look up at this thing, kind of narrow my eyes, and reach back into the depths of my wonderful imagination, look up and say, "Right, you infectious and glorious panty-waste, it's time to fight!" and cast vicious whispers, a vicious mockery at the thing.
Nice.
And
So I will roll a. Come on, do well. 12.
to hit. I thought vicious mockery is a.
Yeah.
It's a save.
I have
Yes.
Oh, it's just. I thought I'd hit with it first. All right, so it's wisdom save.
Okay. 9.
DC is 15, so unfortunately not. So I do 1d4 damage, psychic damage, and it will have disadvantage on the next attack roll it makes before the end of my next turn.
Okay.
So a whopping 1 damage,
Hey!
and its next attack will have disadvantage.
Yeah, but at least it's at disadvantage.
Yeah, it's lit.
So, it is Mitchell. What's your dexterity modifier?
It is +1.
Oh, great. I go first.
That's
Let us do battle, and by do battle I mean try and roll at disadvantage and still hit. Let's see what happens. So it's gonna start to like hop backwards on the rafters, and it's moving closer to the second evil presence that Sirius had sensed previous. And then it's going to shoot a portion of its tail spines out at disadvantage. Let's see what happens. Hoorah! Oh, I guess I should say who I'm shooting at. I'm gonna shoot at. I'm gonna shoot at Barry because Barry did crappy things. 13 to hit.
Negative.
Damn it.
Negatory.
My AC is 15.
And then we'll go to Mitchell.
Did we lose Mitchell?
Hello? Hello?
Mitchell.
There we go. Yep.
Sorry. I was talking to my girlfriend earlier. I turned my mic off. Didn't turn it back on.
You're talking to your fiance. You get it right.
Sorry.
Come on now.
You
Barely
get your
even-
shit together.
Sorry. She wasn't here to hear that one, so I won't get hit later. It's fine. So I'm going to yell out, there's another one in the back somewhere, something evil, not necessarily a fiend, and I'm going to move in, and I'm going to, it's still up in the rafters, right?
Yeah, but towards, it's an entryway, right? So if you imagine you've stepped in, you're looking up, you can see it bopping around up there. On the first level, there's like a couple of doors that are kind of down a hallway, or you can immediately go up a flight of stairs that would get you up to a landing where the rafters and it are pretty much in line. You would be able to use your entire movement to get up there and attempt to attack.
And the presence I felt before was on the first floor or the second floor?
It's on the second floor, and
Okay,
it is
I'm-
in one of the rooms
I'm going to
on
move
the
up
second
the
floor.
stairs, and I'm going to attempt to attack the devil, I guess.
Okay.
So I'm going to roll. Let's see. That is a natural 1.
That's twice.
Nice.
You and me both.
So that's what happened.
We are just a crack team of, like, special forces operators.
Level 1. Level
Level
1.
1.
Yeah.
Just got to get a few name drops in there, the natural one.
Yeah.
That way people know about it. All right, we will go back to the top of the order with Zach.
While seeing him run up there, I'm going to be like, great idea. And run up there with my great axe and just swing.
Yeah, you're going to exit a question.
Oh, you know I have.
Yeah, I've been holding on to that one for a while.
Oh, that's a 23 to hit.
That's a little better.
Yeah,
God,
that's fair to say. Yeah.
11 damage.
Jeez.
All right.
You're not even raging.
Nope. 1d12 plus 5.
God.
As you hit him, I'm like, I opened him up for you.
What, you loosened the jar of pickles? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. This is exactly
Totally
what I was
helped,
trying
thanks.
Exactly. My glaive is blocking him from moving the other way. Like, I mean, I'm helping.
to say.
So you basically jog up the stairs and take your great axe and just start swinging, taking a chunk out of the devil. You are beginning to notice that your attacks aren't doing quite as much as you think that you're doing. Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
I know mine dealt full damage.
A whole 1.
All right. So then we will go to Spencer, who hopefully will do better.
Can't do worse. No, it's actually true at that time. I got a 23 to hit.
Yes.
Hey.
Nice.
Hey.
And that is a 2, so I re-roll it. Fuck, it's still a 2, so 6 damage.
Okay. Now we go to Simon. So Simon, you see the 3 of these guys are just all over this thing, beating the crap out of it, and it's desperately trying to get out of the way of all the attacks, and they're tagging it pretty well, but they're just not doing quite the amount of damage that you would think they would do, especially with a glaive and a great axe.
Yeah.
It doesn't help that we haven't rolled for shit.
I managed to run up there and flail my hammer around real nice, but
Woo.
Sorry, I'm just taking a gander through. Yeah, it's time to wrangle the big guns. So under the arm goes the agony bag.
Okay.
and another careening wall of sound comes flying over their heads, focused in on this.
There
this
goes our
fucking devil.
spell.
No. It's
No.
focused. It's a focused beam of just raw sound and anger and energy. But thankfully, I'm directing it at this spiky thing.
So I've got
Hey!
So I'm going to cast for a second time Dissonant Whispers on this devil.
and I have a saving throw to make.
Yes,
A 15.
that is exactly the spell save DC.
All right, meets it, beats it.
So it doesn't need to flee from me, and it'll take half damage from 9.
So 5.
4.
4.
4.
I thought it was half round up.
Yeah, I know you're right. It is half round up.
Oh, is it
5.
always up? I thought it was down.
Same.
8.
Yeah, we always run. Okay, my bad.
Whatever.
As long as it's
better.
consistent, it really doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah.
That's true.
Does this seem like what I attempted to do to this thing take full effect?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's what kind of damage?
Psychic.
So another
Oh wait, hang on a sec. Yeah, psychic. Yep, sorry.
Another
My bad.
wave of sonic energy comes crashing over this thing, and it screeches out again in another avian, demonically possessed pigeon. And then it is its turn, and seeing that the writing is more or less on the wall, it's just going to try and take a chunk out of somebody.
Hit me.
I think the guy wielding the great axe is probably the scariest.
I mean,
So it's going
I
to
tried.
it's going to try and fork you with its
no.
thing.
Get
so
forked.
Better than being knifed.
let's see what happens here. Got to roll a 20,
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, that hits.
and then you take 1 point. Take that of piercing damage.
Oh.
And then since it skewers you, but it's like it's kind of like it's like a large fork, so it's more of a poke. It's also going to try and bite you for 15.
That just hits.
All right. Do. You take 6 points of
Oh, okay. That one actually hurt.
slashing
Aw.
damage as this half orc kind of gets impaled, and the devil looks down at the fork and then back up at him and realizes he's not getting the fork back anytime soon, and then just lunges in at the neck to try and rend his head from his neck area.
Yeah.
Spencer, it is your turn.
that last spell slot.
Yeah.
It's not me. It would be
Sorry,
Uh-oh.
Mitchell.
Zanra.
There's much robot voice.
Mitchell, you're up.
Uh-oh.
Huh?
I can't. It's robot. Help me.
Robot.
Hello.
Mitchell.
Hello?
Mitchell. Mitchell.
Oh,
Mitchell.
sorry. It's cutting out. I'll leave and come back in. Just give me a sec, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Oh, I think it's. Oh no.
I think it's on up.
Hello.
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 Sorry, I don't have the best internet. I have a very old building, and the internet's not the best in here. So
That's
It's okay. You're coming through pretty clearly.
Did you?
okay, cool.
Can you hear
All right.
us well?
Pardon?
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can now. Yes.
Yeah.
No
We
more
were able to
robots.
hear you pretty much the entire time. So.
Oh, it's just you guys that can't. I can't hear.
All right. Anyways, it's your turn, and this thing is currently on a banister and is latched onto your orc compatriot.
Ow.
A loose amalgamation of a friend.
Yeah.
Friend.
It's really.
Okay. I'm gonna. I mean, what else are we gonna do besides try and smash its head in, right? So I'm gonna do my best to try and smash its head in. That is a 24.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
for sure.
Okay, and I'm gonna roll my damage. Oh, that's nice. That's 11 points of damage.
Woof.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
crushed it. So you smash the thing, and it falls off the banister and lands into the landing, where it immediately erupts into flames and then is pulled back into whatever vile layer of the hells it was spawned from.
Fair enough.
Ow. Ugh.
Oh, I use all 5 of my lay on hands on my orc friend for 5 points of healer.
Half orc.
Half. Sorry.
Thank you.
That's racist.
Oh, what was that you just did? You touched me and I felt funny.
Well, see that's not the best description of what happened.
No, that's what
Is
happened.
phrasing not a thing
I
anymore?
mean, I kind of feel better.
So remember when we were talking about gods being
Where
real?
No, they're not real.
Where did the tiefling touch you? Where did the tiefling touch you?
On the shoulder. On the shoulder. It was.
Well, it was a little lower than the shoulder.
That's
Well,
because
I'm glad
Xanaru's
you feel
shoulders are
better.
so big, everything is lower than his shoulders.
Yeah, you're kind of short. I'm sorry. It's not your fault.
Fair
How
enough.
tall are you?
6'7".
Jesus.
Oh, they're gonna give like a really proper half orc answer. Oh, I'm 6'17".
So we'll go back to Spencer's. I suppose initiative order is done now. So you are.
There's one more in the back.
Yeah. So you're on the second level. There are 3 doors, and you know that the kind of the middle door had the evil presence.
I'm gonna walk over the middle door and try and kick it open.
Okay. I mean,
I'm down with that. That's what I was gonna do. So yeah.
roll
I
an
mean,
attack.
same.
So
Didn't
the
want to try the handle first? Just
No.
No. We're going in. We're going in hot and heavy.
None of us rolled that well on intelligence.
so you
Okay.
just roll a strength check.
Okay. That is a 17.
Oh, yeah. You boot the door open and are immediately greeted by 2 people.
Okay.
One, like a middle-aged, balding man, kind
Yep.
of dressed rather simply, and then another middle-aged, also balding man, who is also dressed rather simply, and the 2 of them look at you, look at each other, and then point at each other and say, "He summoned it."
I'm going to immediately use thaumaturgy to increase the volume of my voice, and I'm going to tell them to both get on the ground, or I'm going to cave their fucking heads in.
Okay, roll an intimidation check at Supremo advantage.
Nice.
That is... it's only a 14.
Only.
They go. I don't know. You don't look all that scary. Did you kill the thing outside?
Nicely handled.
can I poke my head in? Just be like, lads, listen. He's already removed one head and killed a devil today. Do you really want to piss him off?
The 2 of them like look back at each other and then back over to you guys, and they just seem to panic. Like they just both start talking over one another. You have a hard time hearing what either of them are saying.
Why don't we just kill them both?
Well, I mean, when we find out who summoned the devil, then yeah, we'll kill him.
How big was that devil, roughly?
Smaller than you.
Would you say could fit in a 5-foot cube?
Yes. Yeah.
So I kind of want to gauge what the reaction would be if I were to use minor illusion to make it appear like that devil had returned, kind of standing between them. Kind of like the reverse image of what I saw of him disappearing. Do that and have him an image of this
Yeah.
that devil sitting there, kind of glaring.
Roll intimidation?
Can you bardically inspire yourself?
No.
Not yet.
No, that's like late game.
Level 11?
You said intimidation?
Yeah.
Okay. 7.
So this thing begins to like reach up and claw, and the thing you forgot is that you can't make the noise. So it's just an image that claws out of them, and the both of them look down at it, and then both continue on with their like, "No, but he did it. No, but seriously, he did it."
I'm just
They
going to
did
walk
it."
up and just grab one by the neck and start to try and lift him off the ground.
Okay.
I'll grab the other one.
Yeah.
There's a door that's in the way. So one, yeah, that's how we're gonna do this. One guy walks in, Sirius, you step in and you like immediately make motions to grab one, and the other guy goes, "Oh, I'm out," and he does like super magic, mystical bullshit, and then disappears in a thing of mist.
Shit.
Uh-oh.
The guy that you have around the throat starts making the choking noises of like, "Please let me go, please let me go."
I put my hand on Sirius's shoulder and say, like, look, we can't get any information if he can't talk. Let's bind his hands.
Can I? I will use it again. I'm gonna kind of like let him go, but like forcibly kind of putting him onto the ground, and I'm gonna use my divine sense to see if I can find where that bugger shifted off to. It's only 60 feet though.
Yeah, you can still. So he basically stepped out about 30 feet away on the outside of the house and is currently running around like one of the back alleys, heading towards what looks like the center of town.
Okay, I'm gonna immediately duck and start trying to chase him.
Where are you going?
Do you say that?
I just start
Hello?
running.
Fuck, because I could jump out a fucking window. I follow.
All right. So,
Uh,
Xanaruk, would you like to pursue the pursuers?
yeah.
All right. So this will be a chase sequence. I'm gonna need pretty much everybody to start making athletic checks to see where we end up. So, you guys can all make athletics checks.
Wait, what? I missed a bunch of that.
We're chasing him. The guy that Misty stepped or something away, and we're making athletics checks.
26.
19.
Oh, damn it. People already rolled. Is going to start throwing out some inspiration.
23.
Athletics?
Yeah.
Are you sure it's not acrobatics?
Yes.
3!
So, you guys run out the front of the building, and in between, like, the alley shots that are in between buildings, you can see this guy a little bit further up, booking it towards the town center. You get a pretty decent, you start to close the gap, except the three of you begin to distance yourself from Barry, who kind of falls behind, huffing and puffing. He's a little bit out of breath because he's been playing the bagpipes so goddamn much. And just as you guys start to close the gap a little bit, the last house is there, and you both break into the town circle, town center at the same time. Can I make everybody to make athletics checks again?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh. Only a 20. Not
23.
natural.
23.
24.
What?
Plus 6.
Yeah.
I have +7.
Yes.
I only have
So, I just kind of lay down and take a nap. I rolled a 1.
So Barry has a hard time following, but the three of you are immediately on this guy. Just as you begin to get kind of on his heels, he reaches back and hits the very scary half-orc.
Yep.
Actually, that wouldn't be right, because the paladin definitely was super spooky. So, Sirius, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, no.
Oh, hang on a tick.
That is a 10.
Oh, damn it.
Damn it.
You are immediately paralyzed. You lock under the a hold person spell and go careen down onto the ground as this guy continues to try and run.
I literally just into the dirt and scrape my face up, just like.
At this point, is he moving outside of my reach? Because he would trigger an opportunity attack every time.
He's not moving outside of your reach. You're
Damn it.
more or less on him. So I'm not going to make you make athletics checks because he's a wizard and he's not running very far. So he drops hold person. Sirius gets locked up, falls in the dirt, and then the half-orc and human fighter have an opportunity to attempt to grapple.
Oh yeah, 100% gonna go.
Oh yeah.
So what I need you to do is roll an initiative roll.
Okay.
Everyone or just them?
Just them, because it depends on the
Oh,
order on how this
We're
is going
both
to go.
having a snooze, so
17.
4.
Okay, so Xanaruk, you can move to grapple.
Will do. Oh. So that's actually only 14.
You still manage to grab hold of him really easily. As you grab a hold of him, you hear him start to speak this weird, slippery language again, and then he vanishes into mist, and he shows up 30 feet away and continues to run.
Oh.
I'm like on the ground, like.
So I need, first off, can I get Sirius to roll a wisdom saving throw?
That is a natural one.
You're still locked in place.
Yeah.
Can I get the people who are pursuing to roll athletics checks? Now, at this instance, Barry would catch up to the paralyzed Sirius.
At which point I kind of get a confused look on my face and look down and say, "Really? I witnessed you murder not only a person but a devil, and you're gonna leave there?" Bardic inspiration.
24.
14.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you attempt to chase this guy down, and in a burst of old guy natural 20 speed, books it. And he is making his way towards the temple.
Can we just shoot him at this point?
Just
Because I have a crossbow.
Yeah, can I throw things at him?
Yeah. So you would essentially, the way that it kind of worked out was it was movement on top of dashes. So
Right.
now it's just you would slowly, like, you would run and try and shoot, or you could just stop and steady it and try and hit them. It's really your call, but they're going to end up being kind of 30 feet away from you or more.
I'll just keep running, actually.
Yeah, I'm better off being closer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm gonna do the, when you like put a fish out of water, but without the moving.
So the old man continues to run. I'm going to need Sirius to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, I might use my inspiration. Is it a D6 or is it only a D4 right now?
For Bardic inspiration, it's
Yeah.
D6.
D6.
Okay. That is a 19.
Yes.
So you can hold on to that inspiration.
So the spell breaks. You are now free to carry on with whatever it is you needed to do. I need the pursuers to roll athletics checks.
I'm gonna start running again.
Oh, 23.
25.
So you guys managed.
I always said I was gonna start running again. I got a
Yep.
24.
Okay. I can pick that up after too, yeah.
Barry, go ahead.
It's better. It's a 10.
Hey.
All right.
Nice.
So you chase him to the doors of the temple, and you can, Sirius and Barry, you see them
Whoa.
go towards the temple. He shoulders the door open and goes running into the temple, and Xanaruk and Nathaniel, you're both at the doors of the temple. Do you proceed in?
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah,
Plus
100%.
3.
yeah, so the two of you go thundering in just in time for this evil mage to stand there and kind of half chuckle and be like, he begins to wave his hands around and they start to get covered in light. I need you both to make insight checks.
Okay. Oh, 16.
I'm rolling like shit on my insight. 8.
You both can tell that is the light spell, and he ain't fucking doing shit. He tried
Just a light
to.
spell?
He was just trying to ooh, make you freak out. So
I look over at the barbarian. I'm like, do you want to chop off his hands or should I?
Both of us, we got one each.
Deal.
I'm now just gonna have everybody go to initiative.
Okay.
7.
6.
Fuck. Well,
10.
We caught up.
we caught the wizard.
That's okay. That's a 15.
And the wizard gets... Oh, okay. That's not bad. Okay. So, Mitchell, it's your turn. You're pretty much just going to use your entire turn to get there.
Yeah.
So you arrive at the same time to see... Now it's you, Xanaruk, and Nathaniel standing there, and, like, pretty much at the parapet, the soapbox, the place where you say sermons from. This evil mage is there, kind of panicking, like, ooh, now what do I do? And it is Simon's turn.
So
very
I gotta haul my ass
yeah.
over to the...
You basically all arrive at the same time, almost as if this is the pilot episode of your 1990s cartoon, where all four of you are standing in the doorway of the busted up temple, facing down the first kind of definitely evil man you have met, and he just kind of panics a little bit and summons 3 magic darts that kind of reach out from his hand, and he's gonna drop all 3 of them into probably Sirius, because Sirius is fucking spooky.
Hit me.
So the good news is that they happen all at once. So choke it down, son. 5, 8. You take 8 points of force damage as these 3 darts reach out and kind of spiral around each other and slam into Sirius's chest.
That hurt a lot. I immediately
lot for
spit
you?
blood. Yeah, I immediately spit blood, and I'm like, "Ugh!" That's a lot. I'm kind of like hunched over, and I'm like, I kind of tried to put my shield up, but it didn't work. They just went around and nailed me, and I'm just like, "Ugh."
In which case, we now go to Xanaruk.
Well, I'm gonna run up and just whack him with my great axe.
Go for it.
Like, nope.
Please kill him.
21.
Yes.
That hits.
Yeah.
15 damage.
Holy shit.
God.
So you see your newfound associate get hit with what you can only determine is some sort of magic bullshit, and you're like, I've had enough of this. So you roll up with your great axe and you cut off one of his arms. And he immediately falls to the ground with like a, oh god. And he's like starting to retch a little bit. The pain is just too much for him. It is Spencer's turn.
Okay, I'm just gonna attempt to knock him out because I'd rather talk to him than kill him.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna swing with the blunt end of the glaive, and that is a natural 20.
Okay.
So double the dice.
Yeah, man.
Cool. So that's 8, and 6 is 14 plus 4 is 20.
And you're trying
Non-lethal
not
damage.
to kill him.
Yeah, non-lethal damage.
So you spin your glaive around and baseball bat into his face head, and there's a very satisfying crack as he passes out. And there's like a little pool of blood that is slowly pooling around him. He may be unconscious. He's gonna die
definitely
very
dying.
soon.
Probably.
I'll immediately move. Like, I mean, I can't do this on my turn, but like as soon as I can, I'll immediately move up to stabilize him and just bind his hands.
You're all out of initiative. You chase down the wizard and beat him within an inch of his life. So you can go ahead and make a medicine saving throw.
Okay.
Can I assist him with that?
Or a medicine check. And I'll give it to you. You basically rush up and are immediately trying to assess his wounds.
17 with the assist.
Yeah, so you know that there's no stabilizing this guy. It is a matter of time.
Oh, good.
With an arm severed. It's not like, oh, I'm just gonna patch up and you're gonna be okay, champ.
It's gushing blood.
No,
Like it's
no,
like
man.
this dude's dying.
He's dying. You can attempt to wake him up and extract whatever information you can, but you assess he has mere minutes left in life.
All right, so look at the fighter Vic. Look, hold your hand over where his arm used to be.
Yeah.
I'm gonna reach over and pick up the guy's arm and start slapping him awake with his own arm.
And I take the wizard's robes and just shove them on top and just try to hold as much blood in as possible.
Okay. Simon, can I get you to make a intimidation check?
Yep, absolutely.
With advantage, he's being slapped with his own arm.
But disadvantage, he's also unconscious, so instead
Fair,
of just
fair.
killing
I'll take
him, let's just go straight dice.
Intimidation check, correct?
Yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I only have a 21.
Oh, Jesus.
So he immediately comes to life and just starts crying. There's a mixture of blood and urine that makes for a pretty aggressive smell. But Xanaruk, you're right at home. This is exactly where you wanted to be.
I try and like pipe up as like sitting down. I'm like, who is he? Who does he work for? Why did you summon a devil? Ow.
As
What we
you're
find
like,
out is actually the other guy who is the problem.
he's crumpled, and he begins to choke out what you hope are words, and like an actor attempting to get an Academy Award, he's drawing out this death sentence. He simply whispers one name, and I'm going to attempt to pronounce it correctly. Thorisden, and then dies.
Florisden?
Wisdom?
Thorisden.
Oh.
Thorisden.
Can I make a religion check?
Basically, everybody make religion checks except for Mitchell, who is currently still sitting at the door, having a breather, just taking a moment.
I'm literally just like, it's fine. I'm just bleeding.
Oh,
17.
18.
What's religion? I rolled a 3.
So, Thorisden is the goddess of trickery and madness, which has a jagged counterclockwise spiral for a symbol. Typically, anybody who follows Thorisden is not a good person.
Generally evil.
Okay.
I kind of go, what did he say?
The evil wizard guy stuff.
Thorazden.
Oh, crap. That's fun. I'm kind of just laying down on the floor now.
You okay, buddy?
Mitchell,
I'm very hurt.
how many times
Okay.
can Sirius do divine detect blah 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 should they do?
One more time.
Good. You get the sense that you should probably do that one more time.
I will.
You are able to see underneath the temple. And underneath the temple, there is, because your vision only goes out 60 feet, 60 feet of seething hatred and evil resting underneath this temple. It looks like there is catacombs or a dungeon or something that is hidden underneath this temple that is breeding evil. And I think that is where we will call our first session.
Dun dun dun.
Uh,
That was